Alright guys, we've made it to the Spider-Man 3 custom minifigure showcase. Now, I did one years and years ago, but since LEGO's added so many new pieces to their catalog, I've gone back and updated the figures that I did before. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit like and subscribe down below, and without further ado, let's get into it. If you haven't ever heard it, you should check out my song, The Girl Next Door. I wrote it inspired by the old Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, and I shot the music video in New York City at all the places they shot the original movies. So if you love these movies and you want to hear a great song by your favorite LEGO YouTuber, go check that out. Alright, now let's get into the video. Alright, we're going to start the video off with Spider-Man himself because we get that great swing in at the beginning of the movie. This is my original Spider-Man I've had since 2004. The only change we're going to make are adding the dual molded legs with red boots and dark blue legs on top to get that more accurate modern LEGO look. Speaking of modern LEGO, of course, you could get the new Tobey Maguire Spider-Man that comes in the No Way Home Final Battle set, and I do think that that works pretty well for Tobey. I just have a lot of nostalgia for the original. I do think it's the superior figure of the two, but technically you can go to a store right now, as of this video being posted, and grab this figure for pretty cheap. Well, 110 bucks, but you get the whole set with it, so that's not too bad. But that's my recommendations for Spider-Man here. For Peter Parker, I used the Marty McFly head and the flat brown hair. I just think that looks so much like Tobey Maguire, it's perfect. I gave him black legs as well as this casual torso from Harry Potter, and this really looks a lot like the Tobey style that he wears all throughout the movies, but especially in Spider-Man 2 and 3. Now, I am very happy with the way that Mary Jane turned out for this video, but not much has changed since the last one. That being said, there hasn't been a regular white LEGO torso with a black tie on it ever made. The closest we ever got was the Nick Fury torso from Captain Marvel, but that had shoulder harnesses on, so that doesn't quite count. So the best thing we could do here is using the torso from Pepper Potts from Iron Man 3, that's also where the head comes from, with some long red hair as well as these dual molded legs that look really great from the Women of NASA set. In fact, these legs I think are perfect for Mary Jane's outfit from the movie, and I really like the way it makes the whole outfit come together here. For sweet old Aunt May, I went ahead and used the legs, torso, and head from the Aunt May from the Ultimate Spider-Man set several years ago with some long white hair. I think this combo looks a lot like her look in the movie, and I don't think it gets much better than this, to be honest. You know, Stan Lee has had so many cameos in Marvel movies over the year, but the one in this movie just hits the hardest for me, and it makes me miss him so much. But, of course, Stan Lee here, this one is the custom minifigure made by Firestar Toys. I would love to show you another torso or something, but honestly, I always use this Stan Lee head and hair for my customs and my showcases, and I do have to recommend just getting the whole figure because it literally looks perfect, especially for this movie. Up next, we've got Flint Marko and the Sandman. We'll just kind of knock them both out here at once. And I do still think that the best Sandman we ever got was the original one from back in 2015 or so. The hair, head, and torso were literally perfect. And of course, if you didn't want him to have a sand arm, you could just switch it out for a matching green and tan arm. Not much you can do about the corner of the torso there, but it is what it is. This torso, or excuse me, the legs also come from Garmadon from the Lego Ninjago movie, so I think that that looks really good to add the belt and pants texture. And then, of course, the all-sand version of Sandman came out in 2019 in the Spider-Man sets. I think that that works pretty well for his all-sand version in this movie. And, of course, if you really wanted to go big, you could build a brick-built Sandman like the one we got in the No Way Home Sandman Final Battle set. Up next, we've got Captain Stacy, aka Gwen Stacy's dad, and for this, I used one of the Gotham City police torsos from the Lego Batman movie. I really like that you get the arm printing on the shoulder there, which is pretty nice. The head comes from Old Man Han Solo with this hat, which I believe came from the Lego CMF, if I'm not mistaken, and some dark blue legs to finish the uniform off. Of course, we gotta make Gwen Stacy too. I really like the way this figure turned out. I just used brown legs underneath with the flipped inside out skirt and the torso from Luna Lovegood from the Lego Harry Potter CMF series. The head comes from Ellie Sattler from Jurassic Park, and the hair is actually kind of like the rubbery hair that came on Supergirl from the DC Superhero Girls line of sets. I really like the way this one turned out, and it's among my favorite figures in this showcase for sure. Alright, here we've got the entire Daily Bugle bullpen, and I really like the way that all of these turned out. Since last week, somebody pointed out that you could use the Betty Brant hair from the Daily Bugle to get this bob haircut in dark brown. I completely forgot about that, so I used black in the Spider-Man 2 showcase, but I would recommend brown. For Betty Brant as well, I also used this regular head that's come on tons of characters like Princess Leia and literally tons more. Then the torso actually comes from Grip Hook, I believe, from Harry Potter, with this black arm and tan hand combo with black pants. For Robbie Robertson, we've got the head from Kingsley from Harry Potter with swept back gray hair, the torso from Ross from Friends, and of course just some brown pants. Then for Hoffman, I used black legs with the torso from Agent Coulson from Lego Marvel, the head from Detroit Steel, aka Justin Hammer, ironically from the same set Coulson came in, with some black hair. And for J. Jonah Jameson, I went with his look from where he's photographing the final battle, and I thought it'd be funny to give him a red camera since he buys that camera off the little girl in the movie. Then I used these legs, which are dual molded legs here. Oh no, Jameson fell over. I used these legs, which are dual molded legs from the Harry Potter CMF series, with a torso that matches from the Harry Potter CMF. The head comes from Jameson from the Daily Bugle, and he's got a black fedora to pull it all together. Here we've got New Goblin, and years ago when I made it, I was pretty proud of the design then, but I like it even more now that we've got updated parts. The torso comes from Sylvie from the Lego Marvel CMF, which also gets you some pretty nice printed arms, which I like quite a bit. The legs come from the original Hawkeye from all the way back in 2012, which, once again, I like quite a bit here as well. The neck piece here actually kind of helps build up that, paintball style mask that he has in this movie, and that comes from just one of the Ninjago ninja masks in black, of course. The face is actually a Hydra soldier from Avengers Age of Ultron, but not the 2024 sets, actually the 2015 sets, but I still think that those work pretty well together, and I just gave him some brown hair up top to finish the look, but I really like the way that this one updated, perhaps among my favorites in this entire showcase. Alright, here we've got Eddie Brock, and yeah, I know people clown on Eddie Brock and Venom in this movie, but having just rewatched it on the big screen recently, I still think it's aged pretty well. Now, I do have one alternate hairpiece that you could use here. I still like the original hairpiece, the spiky hair that I suggested using years ago, but the new hair that we've been getting on Hawkeye lately isn't so bad either. I still like the original one, but I figured I'd show it to you here, and because I'm lazy, I guess I'm just going to leave that hair on. So, the face comes from Ray Stantz from the Ghostbusters. It was also used on the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent from Marvel. The torso comes from Ultra Agents with that open jacket and the necktie hanging down. Of course, I gave him a camera accessory, and he's got blue jeans on to finish it out. Alright, I've been making Bruce Campbell's cameo in every single movie leading up to this, so I'm certainly not going to stop now. And this one, of course, is the fun one where he's in the French restaurant. So this one's actually pretty simple to use. I just used the latest, suit and tie torso with the black tie and black suit and all that. The head comes from Quilt Man from the Lego DC Batman movie. And, of course, we've got the old-style black hair to finish it. Alright, now the piece de resistance is the black suit Spider-Man. Guys, I'm sorry, but there just aren't any good purist options to make this suit, so I did go ahead and use a full-blown custom here. This one came from Phoenix Bricks, which was released a number of years ago, and while it is more detailed than the standard Lego minifigure, it's hard denying that this isn't the best one on the market, because that silver spider, all the detailing, and even just the little bumps on the torso and legs to add texture really make this figure a knockout. And again, I'm sorry to use something that's so inaccessible to the mass public, because this has been retired for quite some time, and they're very hard to find now, but at the end of the day, I do still think it's the best option. If I had to give you a purist option, I might suggest this officer minifigure from Star Wars, but flip it around. I know it's not great, but I really can't think of any better options than this to get some silver webbing lines, and I wish I had a better option for you, but customs are just the way to go sometimes. Here we've got Harry Osborn, and since I've made him regular several times, I thought I would show you how to do his scarred face from after his battle with Peter. This, of course, uses the black legs and torso from Jerry Seinfeld from the Seinfeld set, with the scarred Anakin face from episode 3 many moons ago, and of course the same hair we used on New Goblin for consistency. In all my years of making Spider-Man videos, I've never made Mr. Ditkovich or his daughter, so I thought now would be the time, since this is probably the last time I'm going to do these videos, because I can't really think of any ways I could update them better than this. Anyways, for Mr. Ditkovich, I used black legs and the torso from Ross from the Friends apartment set, with the head from the Vulture and the receding gray hairline, and for his daughter, I actually used the torso and legs from Monica from the Friends apartment set, with the head from Sylvie and some pigtails to get the look she's got in Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. All right, here we've got Dr. Connors, and I quite like the way that this looks, especially from my Spider-Man 2 design, and since he's wearing basically the same thing, I didn't change it. The legs come from Fred Weasley from the LEGO Harry Potter CMF series, the torso comes from Professor Lupin from Harry Potter, with a hand removed, of course, for accuracy, then the head comes from Alan Grant from Jurassic Park with some flat brown hair. You guys knew it was coming. I had to make emo Peter Parker. You guys knew it was coming. I had to make emo Peter Parker. I love the way this turned out, and I used dark blue legs, the torso from Bruce Banner from Infinity War, and from Ragnarok, actually, as well as this standard head that's come in a lot of places, mostly Star Wars troopers underneath helmets and masks and stuff, and I gave him this swept hair, which I think came from Larry the Barista from the Lego Movie, but it's been used in other places too, I'm sure, but I'm pretty sure that's where I got mine from at the very least. And last but not least, we've got Venom. Now guys, I wish I had a better suggestion for Venom too, but truthfully, the Venom look we get at the end of the movie really can't be made in Lego form better than the Venom minifigure. I just recommend using any Venom you have in your collection, and just for comparison, remember I mentioned this torso earlier for Black Suit Spider-Man, I guess you could maybe put Venom's head on there just to get some, like, lines on there, but I still don't think it looks all that great. So I still recommend just using the regular Venom. And with that being said, let's wrap up this showcase. All right, guys, let me know how you think this showcase turned out. At this point, I'm kind of tempted to go back and do Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 as well, but I gotta be honest, my schedule is packed right now, so it might be a little while before I get to those, but I probably will still go back and do those. Maybe next month or something. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Be sure to check out Spider-Man 1 and 2 on my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys on the next video.